how should marketers leverage MMM? And I want to start by asking you from a very high level view, what is MMM?
Sure. So MMM is a statistical approach. It's essentially a model that incorporates a number of different elements. It'll incorporate your media channels and the spend that they're generating or driving on a daily basis. It'll incorporate time series components. It'll incorporate factors like promotion, price, like it can incorporate quite a lot. But the intention is essentially to be able to predict a business metric over time. So typically we'll build an MMM that is able to predict a metric like total sales or total first time sales. And what essentially adding each media channel as a component allows for is we can attribute back a slice of that value that we are driving on a daily basis across that business metric back to individual media channels based on basically the historical relationship that that model has been able to understand and model for that channel to the KPI of interest.
Then how do you recommend that marketers should be leveraging MMM?
Yeah, so I think the place that we've come to with performance marketing, brand marketing, and measurement today is such that, MMM has a place on almost any marketing program. I think it's still in a place where it's not quite commoditized yet. So it's still kind of a higher price point. Larger businesses are using it across more diversified media programs where there's offline and online media channels. But we're moving faster and faster towards a place where, it can be a component of any media program and way to evaluate marketing effectiveness. So I would say that it can and absolutely has a place in the decision making of any marketing program. The caveats are really that it should not be playing a role in which it exists independent of any type of experimentation. MMM at its baseline, when you build a model and set it, is terrible. It's not good at predicting. It really requires constant maintenance, evaluation, and the outcomes of experiments to make it a valuable tool over time.
Do you have any tools or places that you would recommend folks get started if they're looking to start to implement that?
I mean, there's a number of media mix vendors available that Thrive partners with our clients across. Thrive is also piloting our own MMM Lite across a number of our clients as well. But if you wanted to start bare bones, like MMM is something you could build in Excel. Like you can start bare bones. You could start with a basic multilinear regression, just directionally to understand some of those relationships that you're trying to evaluate between different media channels and your KPI of interest, your top line sales.
I guess my last question here, then putting myself in the shoes of like your average, maybe small to medium sized marketer, what level of complexity would you need for MMM to make sense? Like, would you say like a certain number of channels, or like at what point do you need to start getting into MMM versus looking at maybe individual platform reporting?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would definitely say that it's more so useful when you do have a diverse marketing portfolio of channels and different ways that you're marketing, particularly if you're involving more upper and mid funnel strategies, or you're working with offline channels like TV, radio, etc. That's where MMM is really valuable and differentiated from other measurement tools like MTA, because it essentially creates that apples to apples approach for all of these different channels. We're not relying on deterministic tracking to essentially establish or attribute any value back to those channels. We're relying on just the top line relationship between spend over time and other kind of patterns over time and our KPI of interest. So I would say really when you're scaling your marketing, you're diversifying your program, and also when there's more questions and scrutiny around the evaluation of different channels, that's a great time to introduce MMM.
Okay, great.